Next time you're getting tailgated, try this simple and effective trick for getting yourself back in control. And P.S., it can be applied to your stuff as well. You're listening to A Little Debbie. It's a bite-sized version of the longer podcast, Upcycling with Deb. I'm your host, Deb Colameta. I wrote a #1 best-selling book called Best Offer, Best Life. And you can get in touch with me and find out more information about the classes I offer, webinars or debinars, by going to my website, www.thedebsite.com. Is it me getting older, or are people driving kooky these days? The other day, there was this guy driving right behind me and swerving and tailgating like a drama queen, just to make it known that he was completely irritated with me. And that drama queen was driving right on my tail. And what did I do? Nope, I did not jam on my brakes, which would have been really bad news for him and for me. But I put my blinker on and I safely pulled over. I let him whiz by. And then I said the magic incantation, "See you at the next red light." This is further evidence that I'm turning into my parents. My parents use this trick when people are tailgating them, and it's so empowering. My father and mother, whenever they're driving along and someone is tailgating them, and sorry, mom and dad, but that's pretty often because they're probably some of the only people on the planet who literally drive a mile or two under the speed limit. And when they're tailgated, they often just pull over and let the person pass. It's just not worth seeing the other driver swerve and risk getting rear-ended. And as they pass by, my parents smile and wave and say under their breath, "See you at the next red light." And this used to kind of annoy me. It seemed so submissive. And of course, when we were on the way to school in the morning, I wanted my parents to drive a little faster so I could get there on time. But inevitably, if we were getting tailgated and my parents tried this trick, they'd pull over and really we would see them at the next stoplight. We live in suburbs of Boston. There's always a traffic light or a stop sign. So why drive like a maniac and put everyone at risk in the meantime? And in a way, this method of pulling over for a bit, kind of a spin on the tortoise and the hare, really makes a lot of sense. And believe it or not, it feels empowering. And that's kind of like life, isn't it? We're going to get where we're going. Why live frantic in the meantime? Why breathe down someone else's neck? Why force yourself ahead and cut someone else off? Why have anxiety about not going fast enough? Why drive so aggressively and get on someone else's case? We're all going to get where we're going someday. Why not leave a little space between you and the next person and enjoy the scenery along the way? And I tried that actually this morning. It was raining cats and dogs here in the Boston area, and there were giant puddles everywhere, tree limbs down, and I had this Mercedes on my tail. And I have every capacity for going a lot faster. My car has 500 horsepower, and I probably use about 40 of them, so kind of a waste of the horsepower. But I'm like, I'm not going to get rear-ended on my way to school with the kids in the car. So I just put my blinker on and pulled over safely, and I let him whiz by. And in about 30 seconds or less, we were right behind him at the next red light. It just goes to show people get so focused on where they're going, they don't think about doing things the right way in the meantime. And I have to tell you, it was a great lesson to show my kids, even though, of course, they wanted me to go a little faster. It was empowering. I was able to take control back of that situation. And this is, not just in life in general and getting all philosophical. This is what it's like with your stuff. This is what I try to explain to people. A lot of times people say, "Hey, can you come to my house and organize my stuff?" And as Phoebe Buffay would say, "Oh, I would, but I don't want to." That's not what this is about. You have to look at what you have and slow down, slow your buying roll, and think about what you're putting into your space. You should be empowered. You should be in control of your stuff. Slow your roll. Don't wait until someone else or some other circumstance is tailgating you. You're being forced to move because you got a fabulous new job. You have to downsize or want to move where there's better weather and you don't have to deal with snow or some other severe weather. If you want to be able to move, you shouldn't have your stuff that's tugging at you, keeping you, holding you back. You should take control of the situation, put yourself back in the driver's seat, and don't wait for circumstances to tell you what to do with your stuff. You take control of your stuff, pull over, reevaluate, assess, and then once you've gotten your stuff level to where you want it to be, safely pull back on the road and keep going to your best life.